Hey, Jeff Justice here with Jeff Justice Seminars for Court Reporters. I want to thank you so much for deciding to choose us to get your online CEUs with. We promise not to disappoint you. We provide laugh-packed, content-rich seminars so that you can get your CEUs from the comfort of your own home or office. So basically, you're going to watch the videos. As you do, print out the PDFs for the quizzes, answer the questions as you go along. At the end of the whole seminar, so if you're taking a 10-hour seminar after you finish all the sections, email me all of your answers. I will grade them and get you back your letter of completion for your state, and if you're an RPR, the proper forms for NCRA. So get ready to laugh and learn with Jeff Justice Seminars for Court Reporters.
The next part of our program here at Pam, again, we met Pam about 4 years ago, and strangely enough, I met her through Anita Paul, because when Sue stopped speaking, on the road, I was in a panic to find somebody to do ethics, and we tried a few people in Texas, and they kept kind of bailing out on us, and I called Anita and said, do you know anybody that could do a great job? And she didn't hesitate, said, Pam Cohen. I said, right, I never heard of her. She did a great job. I did a program with her last year. It was fantastic. So we tried her out, and again, fell in love with her. And she's been doing a great job here. She also has her own court reporting school, Racer, in Houston. So if you know any young people, or not so young people, in the Houston area that would like to make the big bucks that you make. Yeah.
What's the name of the school?
Racer.
The Real-Time Academy of Court Reporting, Racer.
R-A-C-R. So she's got a great program there. She's got financial aid with them, and she's also the kind of teacher that they are not getting out of there until they do what they need to do to make a good living in this business. So keep her in mind. Without any further ado, a nice round of applause for our ethics department with Pam Cohen.
Thank you. Hopefully I won't disappoint. It scares me when they introduce me like that. Here's my cards if y'all want to pass these out. Hopefully I have enough. In case you don't know anybody who might want to be in court reporting. Sorry. There's some for you guys. Thank you. Yeah, my school is Racer, the Real-Time Academy of Court Reporting. And no, I do not do financial aid. He was wrong. Okay. but I try to let everybody pay, monthly, so that they can come out of school and not have a huge bill at the end. I was wondering what that was for. Okay, so I think I recognize some of you from maybe the last time I was here, or maybe another seminar, I'm not sure, but I know I recognize a lot of your little faces. Thank you for having me. And I know if I can't talk, mess me up. If I start talking too fast, somebody just go, whoa, will you? Because I know my students hate me to teach because I talk really fast. I'm trying to slow down. It's not easy. Okay, so let's talk about some stuff. This first hour or so, we're just going to have an open forum to talk about whatever you want to. Okay? So I'm going to bring up a few things that maybe some of you don't know, maybe some of you do. I'm sure that most of you have heard by now that there's no more CRCB. Everybody know that, right? Now we're under the JBCC. What's the JBCC? That is the Judicial Branch Certification Commission. Now we're all looped together with the interpreters and people like that who have to have licenses. It's the interpreters, it's the registration and licensing department. It's called the Judicial Branch Certification Commission. And so now our new website we go to is www.txcourts, with an S on the end, .gov/JBCC. So that's the new, I'll do it again.
When did this happen though?
Oh, this happened in September.
I've been asleep since then?
Yeah, it happened in September. If you go, you can still go to the CRCB website, but it'll send you to this one. And it's pretty much the same. It is a little difficult to find things sometimes. I know you can still do everything you did before on that site, but sometimes you got to dig for things. Sometimes it's a little difficult to find stuff.
Was this sunsetted or what?
They just decided to save money and loop us in with the interpreters and other people who have licenses like ours. And so they put us all under this judicial branch and basically kind of got rid of the CRCB. Now there are people on that committee, and you'll probably recognize some of these names. Robin Cooksey out of Conroe is on the committee. Janice, I don't know how to say her name, Janice Meadows, I hope I said that right, from Tyler. Whitney Riley from Bernie, I said that right, I'm not from here either. Whitney and Molly Hala from Houston, don't know her. Deborah Hammond from Rockwall and Kim Tyndall from San Antonio. They're all on that committee, so I'm sure a lot of y'all know Kim Tyndall. So when I have questions, I call Kim. They're the people you can go to if you have questions about anything to do with the CRCB. But everybody get that website again. It's txcourts.gov/JBCC. Now that's where you go renew your license on there. Everything like you did before, but sometimes you have to hunt for things. It's a little bit difficult to find things. They're still working on it. And I don't know if you've noticed, remember how used to you could go on there and if you were being audited, there was a list? My understanding is right now with all the changes going on, they're not auditing anyone. There's no list up. I looked to be sure, and there's no list. I checked again this week, there's no list. So what they're asking you to do though, when you do, and I'm sure that most of y'all know too, you don't have to get your fingerprints done again. If you've had them done once, you don't have to do that. Remember we fought that, we won that battle, so we only had to do that one time. Okay, but what you do have to do, when you go to renew online, you've got to send your stuff in. So like the sheet that you get from Jeff, or like if you went to a TCRA seminar or one of those and you get that sheet with the punch outs, you need to send that in. Just, you can fax it. And before you get to the end when you're renewing, it'll let you print out your receipt. You need to send that receipt and everything together. And you can fax it or you can scan an email. So they're not doing the audit, they want you to do that instead. And it asks for you to do that now. Just so everybody knows that. And I haven't done mine. And so you might want to do it soon because, you know, with all the changes going on, I know I got to do mine this week. And everything else is still the same. Still have to have, everything else is, nothing has changed. Everything is still just like it was. It's just they've switched it over to this new little group.
Well, I have another question.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't get anything via email or regular mail or anything that this happened.
You didn't. You know what? This is how I know stuff because are all of you members of TCRA?
No.
That's why.
That's why.
And that's why, you know why? Because TCRA is now, they're also grading the state exams. They're grading specialization exams. They're kind of taking charge of everything. They have a new little, and I can't remember the name of it, they have a new little magazine type email deal they're sending out for like freelancers and things. So you might want to join or get somebody to forward them to you so that you have copies of that. That's how I found out most of everything is just by going to TCRA stuff and asking questions. And I went to that site and poured over it because I was like, okay, what's different about it now? And it's really pretty much the same. It's just that they haven't really organized it well yet, I don't think. I hate to be rude, but it's not organized well. So you have to hunt for things.
I was going to say, I have a hard time finding a uniform.
Yes, it is hard to find. It's there. I'm trying to remember where. I remember I had to hunt. It took me like 20 minutes. I was like, why isn't it under that? I think you have to go to something under, there was like a list of facts. And you went under there, and then it said something about forms, and it was under forms. But then you had to hunt for it once you got into forms. So it's all hunt right now. They're just not real. It's not real organized. I've heard they're working on that, and they're going to correct some of that. But for now, they just sort of threw it together, so it's not perfect. So you know, you have to kind of hunt for things.
So the key explanation is the .gov.
Yes, the .gov. Yeah, exactly. She said the key explanation is the .gov. Get it? I gotcha. I feel your pain. Okay, so let's see what else. Yeah, what happened is they put us in with the process servers, the licensed court interpreters, and the guardianship certification board. So we're kind of in with those people. Anybody who's got a quote license that's supposedly kind of like ours. And you know we fought over that. I don't know if y'all even realize how much TCRA fought that because they were trying to get rid of the board altogether, which meant in reality they were trying to do away with our certifications. And people fought over that because we wanted to be certified in Texas. We don't need people roaming around out there like Florida, right, taking jobs they can't handle. You know, we don't want to become a Florida or any other state that doesn't have certification. So I know people fought very heavily for that, so to try to keep this board moving. So that's the way it came out. So hopefully they'll make some more decent changes, but that's the way it is right now. Any questions about any of that? So let's talk about some situations. And I had some in my purse. Let me grab my situation list. You threw me up here and didn't even time to organize. Let's see here. Let's talk about some stuff that's happening. Let's see if y'all had anything exciting happen. I recently had something crazy happen, so I'm going to let y'all in on it, see how y'all would have handled this. I was double booked, so I had a friend of mine take one of my really great clients. Nothing ever happens at his jobs. He's a smooth guy, nothing ever happens, right? So I'm in my difficult client's job, and everything for that day was going very smooth for once. So I get this panicked text at like right around lunchtime, and I get not just one text, she sends me 5 in a row. And I'm thinking, who did I send her on? You know, this can't be my usual client because he just doesn't have things like this happen. So she says, you need to call me now. You need to call me right now. And I'm in the job, you know, and I'm looking down at my phone and she's blowing it up in text, and I'm like, something's wrong. So I said, do you mind if we take a quick break? And I never do that, and I'm kind of freaking out, but I'm thinking, what could possibly be wrong? Something's wrong, you know, for her to keep texting me. They're like, no, go ahead, we'll take a break. We need to go to lunch anyway. So we took a break, and I go in the bathroom where I make all my phone calls because I can hear in there in the buildings. So I go in there and make a phone call, and she's like, oh my God, you need to call your client. And I'm like, what happened? She said, he just got slapped across the table by the other attorney. And she said, and it was loud, and his face is beet red from the slap. And she said, and it's a mess. It's a big mess. And I said, well, what happened? What did you do? She said, well, I tried to take it, and they were going like 600 words a minute. She said, I finally grabbed my stuff and backed up because I thought I was going to get hit. And she said, and then they walked out of the room, and they were screaming at each other. The attorney who slapped my client walked around the table, and he's like 6 foot, and my client's short, and walked around the table and was towering above him, basically threatening him to hit him again. And she said, your client was going, go ahead, hit me again, I'm calling the cops, hit me. She said it was a mess. She said, I didn't know what to do. I was about to just run out of the room. And she said, your client finally said, we're off, we're done, we're not going any further, I'm calling the judge. She said it was a mess and you need to call. So I called their office, and I'm kind of laughing going, are you serious? Because this client, nothing ever happens when I'm taking this client, ever. And so, and it took me a while to realize she wasn't on one of my 3 difficult clients. I'm like, this was my easy client, you know, I'm still, it's not processing, you know. So I called his secretary, and she's laughing. She was like, yes, you heard. And I said, what the heck, you know, what happened? And she's, oh yeah, he got slapped, he's back, he's here, he's not happy. And I was like, well, what's happening? And she said, well, he's trying to decide if he's going to file charges against the other attorney, and he wants to call your friend as a witness. And I said, oh, no, it ain't happening. And I said, she would make a horrible witness. She's freaked out. She's completely freaked out. She's beyond freaked out. Ain't happening, so what do you want me to do? And she said, well, you know, he said that, you know, y'all record. And I go, well, yeah, you're going to have to subpoena it, because I'm not going to release it without a subpoena. And she's like, okay, well, let me talk to him, and I'll get back to you. So she called me back. I'm still on a break. I was like, do it quick, I'm in a job, you know. And so she calls me back, and she said, well, he wants you to go on and transcribe that right now. So I called her back really quick, and I said, go on and start transcribing. They said my job's going about another hour, so I'll come in and help you when I'm done. And the job had only been going, like, I think she said an hour and a half at the time all this happened. So it wasn't real super long. So I get done. I go to help her, and she wasn't kidding. It was like 600 words a minute, and it was screaming. You could barely understand them. And I get another call when I get to my school, where I told her to meet me there so we could transcribe this. I was going to help her with it. And I get another call from the secretary of my client, and she says, he said he thought he noticed a tape recorder, a regular tape recorder on the table while they were fighting. Because, you know, they know that when we back up, we're not recording anymore, right? And he wondered if he can get that tape. And I said, I don't know anything about that one. Let me find out what's going on. So I call up my friend. She goes, oh my God, I completely forgot about that one. She said, I never bring out my backup recorder. She said, I don't know why I even turned it on. She said, but something told me when I walked in that room to put that on the table. She said, so I had my backup cassette recorder on the table, and she said, I even forgot that was on. She said, so that caught everything. So at that point, she pulls it out, and we listen. I mean, you could hear that slap loud and clear. And that, I was like, oh my gosh. And it was only like 5 minutes of recording before I guess she realized and turned it off. But it got like the 5 minutes during all that slap when he was towering above him and yelling at him and all this kind of stuff. And so they wanted us to transcribe it. And I was like, well, you know, it's not on the record. It's not on the record. It's not part of the record. And they were like, well, we really want you to transcribe it. I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to transcribe it. But we need a ruling from the judge if we have to release this or not. I said, I'm not going to give it to anybody until the judge says I have to. But we will transcribe it, because they were having a hearing the next morning. And I said, so we will transcribe it just in case if the judge says you can have it, then I guess we'll give it to you, because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I've never been in this situation. And so we did. It took us, y'all are gonna laugh. It was 5 minutes. It took us 5 freaking hours, 3 of us, to transcribe that 5 minutes. It was that awful. It was horrible. And then the witness started chiming in. So we had 3 people talking. It was awful. I couldn't believe it took us that long. We did it, and then we sealed it, and we waited to hear back. And I was taking this for my firm in Dallas, and so he came down to Houston for the hearing in case they needed this. And we sealed it, and he had it with him just in case, and the judge refused to hear it. And we were glad, but I was like, God, we spent 5 hours transcribing that. I was like, y'all know you're paying for this, right? you know y'all are paying for this. But and they never did rule on that. But my friend goes, when they do part 2 of this, it's all yours. So then the judge ordered all the depots at the courthouse, of course, So I have to lug all my stuff in the courthouse. So I go for the part 2, and my client came in. And he knew I knew what happened, But the other attorney didn't know I knew what happened. And he walked in, and he's all smug, and he's kind of a popular person in Houston. So I was really actually surprised that he's the one who threw the slap, it really was. Because he's always verbal, but I've never seen him do anything like that before. And he walks in, he's kind of smirking, and my attorney comes in, and my attorney looks at me, he goes, you know what's going on, right? And I go, yeah, we're not going to have any of that today, right? And they both look at me, and the other attorney knew that I knew what was going on. And he goes, well, I'm going to try. And I said, not over my equipment. If you're going to do it, go to the other end of the table, will you? And and I'm trying to be nice and funny, and so nobody gets mad at me, And so we start doing the depo, and the witness kept making wisecracks with his answers. So my attorney was getting really angry because he wouldn't answer the questions. And then the other attorney kept not letting him answer the questions. And so finally, my client goes, I'm going to the judge. I'm going to the judge. And I'm like, and it was horrible. They were going like 500 words a minute all for like 2.5 hours straight. And they were all over each other. And I was just writing the best I can. I mean, it was horrible. And I kept asking them one at a time. That's useless in this situation, right? And I kept asking one at a time. And I'm just writing what I can. I'm doing the best I can. And he goes for the judge. He comes back up, and he goes, the judge wants you to read that back. And I started laughing. And I was like, well, all right. And so we go down, and I'm like, oh, Lord, they're in the middle of this huge trial. So there's all these attorneys, and they're on a case I had worked on. All these attorneys behind me, there's a lot of them. And I'm going, oh my God, I can't read back. And there's all these attorneys in the room, and I'm freaking out. And so I'm standing in front of the judge, and they're on either side of me, and they're yelling at each other in front of the judge, over my head. They're taller than me, because I'm short, and they're yelling at each other, and I'm sitting there going, oh God. The court reporter's looking at me, and she's smirking. She's looking at me like, you poor thing. I've already been there, poor thing. She's been doing the hearings, so she knows, And I didn't know her, and I'm sitting there going, oh God, I can't read back here, And so the judge asked me to read back, and I looked at her and I go, this right here going on? I said, this is what I've been dealing with all morning. Can't read it. And she laughed, and I said, I'll try. And I didn't even think at the time hit play for my audio thing. Didn't even think of it. I was just like, read back. So I go to read it back, and I'm thinking in my head, oh my God, I could have hit play. But I start to try to read back, and I go, Judge, that's the best I can do. And she started laughing. She goes, overruled, you may go back to your room. I'm so sorry for you. I was like, oh my God. So she didn't rule on anything. She just made us go back and finish. I was like, oh my God. So yeah, that was my big fun thing. So what would y'all have done? I was like, I'm not going to have my friend be a witness. No way. Because the court reporter should never be pulled in to be a witness, right? Ever. Never, never, never. So what would y'all have done in that situation? Would you have done anything differently?
Well, I think a court reporter has to be subpoenaed to be a witness.
Which he was wanting to do. And I didn't want her to be a witness.
Yeah, but they could have done it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
As far as the taping goes, that is your work product. There's federal case law that backs us up on that.
Right. Yeah, I told him no. Yeah, I told him. I mean, I did it, but only if the judge ruled. Anything else y'all would have done differently?
I would have claimed I did that.
Yeah.
I turned it off.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I turned it off. Yeah. Yeah.
When you did taping, when you transcribed it, how did you certify? Did you certify it as a tape recording? Or
yes, what she did was she put her certification, the short cert at the end that said it was certified from the audio tape, that it was not taken down. Yeah, instead of, it was audio. I'm sorry?
How much did y'all charge?
I don't even remember. I know we charged hourly, and then I just let her have it, you know, and then one of my instructors helped us get it out, and she's like, don't worry about it, you know. So I just let her collect the money. I don't even know what they charged. I think it was $50 an hour. And then it took us like 5 hours. I'm sorry? We didn't on that one. We just charged an hourly. I mean, because it really wasn't, we didn't think it would be used. I was trying to be nice, but make them pay something, you know. But yeah, normally I would have done both. But it was a weird situation.
I had the same thing as a rookie, except for my guys were smart enough to make me take down a release for bodily injury when we took it outside.
Oh, wow.
Wow. But I got subpoenaed to Fort Bend.
Did you really?
But I didn't have to go. I got one of my attorney friends got me out of it.
Oh, that's good. I just don't think the court reporter should ever testify in situations like that. What's y'all's opinion on that? I don't want to be drugged in the middle. You know, it could be my case,
I had to testify one time when a defense attorney accused the judge in our trial.
Can y'all hear her? Yes.
Of helping the state side, and it was a very short thing. But I had to get on the stand, and it was horrible. And I hope I don't ever have to do it again. Because you think when you sit there and you listen to witnesses, you're going to be just fine, and it's totally different.
Totally different. I can imagine. I don't ever want to have to do that, ever.
But the only reason I have to is because the judge, you know, she told me to.
Right.
There. So it's no big deal in the end, but very nerve-wracking.
Very nerve. I can imagine. I would not want to do that. I don't ever want to have to be drugged into that situation. So what would y'all done with your audio tape? Would y'all have transcribed it, or would you have not transcribed it?
I would have done it.
You wouldn't have done it? You wouldn't have done it?
I would not have transcribed it.
I was afraid the judge was going to say they wanted it and then we didn't do it. You know, and I thought, well, let's do it. We sealed it. We didn't give it to anybody. We sealed it, but just in case, the judge would have said, yeah, I want to hear it. You know?
Do you think he would have given you time to hear it?
Maybe, but you know, I don't know. This was such a weird situation. We were just kind of acting in the moment. Okay, what should we do? You know? Yeah. Because she was freaked out. She doesn't freak out easily, and she was really freaked out. So, you know, when she told me she's never taken my client again, I was like, okay, every time I call, is it that client? And I'm like, that's my good client. He's not my obnoxious client. You know? She's like, I'm not taking him again. So, also, all of you now know, I'm assuming, that you have to be HIPAA certified. Does everybody still know that? Everybody knows HIPAA certification? Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay. And there hasn't been anything that has come down on that. I don't know if all of you have heard about this HIPAA stuff going on. I went to the TCRA convention in Galveston back a few months ago. I can't remember when it was. But we were talking about all this HIPAA stuff that's come down where we all have to be HIPAA certified. There's online training for that. There's one called 360training.com/HIPAA, HIPAA. There's one called myhipaatraining.com. There's a couple others. I can't remember some of the other ones. If y'all know some others, just let us know. Again, myhipaatraining.com, HIPAA, or 360training.com/HIPAA is another one. Basically, I'm sure that maybe some of you don't know, but for this HIPAA thing, and this is national now, I don't know, it's a Texas thing too, and TCRA is wanting us all to be HIPAA certified, just in case, because I don't know if y'all realize this, but let's say, for example, let's say you left your stuff in your car, okay? You just came from a job, you've got the exhibits in the car, it's medical records. It's got people's social security, their address, all their information on it that somebody could steal and steal their identity. If they can trace back to you that you were the one that they stole the information from, you can be fined and you can go to jail. Most people don't realize that. And so what they're trying to do is have us HIPAA certified, which means that if something does happen, there are protocols in place. Supposedly, all the firms that you work for are supposed to give you HIPAA training. I know I worked a lot for U.S. Legal, and the very first thing this even came up, we have a HIPAA compliance officer now, and she called us all in and did a 45-minute HIPAA training with us. We had to answer all these questions, and then we get a little certificate, and we're supposed to carry it around. There are law firms out there now that will call and say, I want somebody that's HIPAA certified. And if you're not HIPAA certified, they don't want you reporting the job.
To renew our license, do we have to do this too?
No. No, I didn't see anything. I checked. I looked. I didn't see anything about this on there. Yeah. The NCRA just started talking about it recently. I saw it in the last 2 journal reporting. The TCRA has been talking about it for over 2 years. So for Texas, they've been talking about it longer than that. Because I know you're supposed to have this done every 2 years. I don't know if you realize that either. Because I know I'm due in February again. Because I had it almost 2 years ago in February from U.S. Legal. Kim Tyndall has an awesome training. I don't know if any of you work for Kim Tyndall, but she's got a really good one. So if you can take one of hers is very thorough. It's really good. So you might want to check with Kim. But it just tells you everything you need to know about what happens. There's protocol. So if that happens to you, you're supposed to notify your firm automatically what the case was, what was taken. Because if they take your computer and they can get into your information and get people's information off of that, that's a big deal. And so they just want you to be careful. They also want you, like if you have your SD cards, your thumb drives, all that stuff, they want everything password protected so that people can't get into your information and get things off of it. And you just need to password everything. And just be sure, I'm really paranoid about going somewhere with my equipment in the car. I usually take it to school, lock it up, or take it home. If I'm going to Walmart, going to the store, whatever, I try not to take my stuff with me, or make sure it's in a locked trunk where people can't see it. I know somebody had their equipment stolen recently in Houston, I can't remember who it was, and they got a lot of their information. And so you just have to be really careful.
I'm super paranoid. I go into the grocery store, my laptop is going with me.
That's smart.
If I lost it, I could be in the cloud.
That's smart. Hopefully y'all are backing up everything. I'm one of those paranoid people. Before I have an SD card in my computer, before I walk out the door, I'm backing off on my desktop and to my SD card. And the SD card, I have 2. I swap them off. They go in my purse immediately so that I have backups everywhere. I'm very paranoid about not having backups because I've had that blue screen of death 3 times. I don't want it again. So I'm trying to make sure I have everything backed up. And I don't know if y'all do this too. I also have another computer that's a mirror backup of my regular computer. So that if my computer dies on me, I have a mirror copy at home. So I can just pick that one up and move until I can get the other one fixed. So always a good idea. I'm a backup. My students call me the backup queen. I have backups for my backups. I'm very paranoid. So just throwing it out there.
So the official court reports in court?
Yes, and also the officials, yes, everybody. And this is the bad thing. This ruling has not come down, supposedly. It's not come down. But TCRA is highly recommending that we all get this HIPAA certification. And supposedly your firms are supposed to do it if you're an official. If you have people working for you, like scopists, proofers, those kind of things, anybody that handles this stuff, even the firms and the production departments are supposed to do it too. Anybody who handles this information is supposed to have this HIPAA training. Anybody who touches medical records, social security numbers, driver's license numbers, anything where identity theft could occur, they're supposed to have this training.
So this training, you watch it as it's given?
Yes, you watch it. It's like $25, I think, is what somebody told me the other day. I did mine through my firm, so it didn't cost us anything. But I think some of these online are like $25. It's like 45 minutes to an hour. You have to answer a bunch of questions at the end, and then they give you a grade. They give you a certificate that you can carry with you, that you can keep in your bag. So if an attorney does ask, it doesn't happen a lot. Attorneys are supposed to be certified too. And so there are attorney firms now that will actually call. I've had one ask me that last week. He said, "Are you HIPAA certified? Are you HIPAA compliant?" "Yes, I am." And he's like, "Okay, I just wanted to make sure." So, and that's the first one that's asked me, probably in 6 months. But some of them know because they've gone to a seminar maybe where they've talked about it, and a lot of them don't know. But technically, anybody could be paralegal, secretary, anybody that deals with those records is supposed to be certified.
When does this go into effect?
It's not, quote, gone into effect yet, as far as it's not a law, but they are highly recommending that we do it, just to protect ourselves, because if it comes back to us and our stuff is stolen, then we could be fined and go to jail. Which is crazy.
What's the acronym?
I knew you were going to ask me that. What does it stand for? I knew it, and I'm drawing a blank. It's the Health Information Privacy Protection Act.
Yeah, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act.
Thank you. I used to know that. I forgot. Yeah. Say it one more time.
Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act.
That's what I got. Two A's.
It is 2 A's. Accountability Act.
HIPAA.
Oh, 2 P's. HIPAA.
HIPAA. Any questions about that? I need water. Oh my God, this is hard to open. I can't open it. That's terrible. You're stronger than I am. I told you it was hard. Don't hurt my hands. Don't hurt my hands. Okay, let's see. So let's talk about some NCRA stuff. Let's see. So, have any of y'all had any crazy stuff going on in your depots that you want to talk about? I know you did. Come on, what's happening out there? Anything going on out here? Go ahead. You got something?
Oh, I was just going to say on the last thing on that HIPAA thing.
Yes.
There's an interesting privacy violations by type.
Yes.
Data disclosed without authorization from patient, 20%. Data compromised by hackers, 6%. Improper disposal of data, 5%. Data lost and not accounted for, 12%. Data physically stolen, 55%.
Wow.
Other, 2%.
55%.
So that's where it's all happening.
Yeah.
Violations.
And make sure, I don't know if y'all are doing this, I shred everything. I have a shredder by my desk. When I'm done with depots and I have copies of exhibits or whatever, I shred everything. Yeah, you want to make sure you're shredding stuff so they don't get a hold of it. Or take it to your firm. I don't know about y'all's firms, but most of the firms I work for have a big bin in their production department where you can go and dump all that stuff and then they'll shred it for you. They have it all shredded, so good idea to do that. Let's see. I'm supposed to go over the Code of Professional Ethics for NCRA, so let's just talk through them. I know y'all all know this stuff, so let's just talk through it. Be fair and impartial. Anybody out there not fair and impartial? Okay. Be alert to situations of conflicts of interest that may give the appearance of a conflict. So what is a conflict? Who can tell me what is a conflict? Can you take your sister-in-law's deposition? No. No. If you know the person, should you be taking their deposition? No. If you have a financial interest, no. I've had situations, you know, it's really weird because Houston's huge, right? And I've had 4 situations where I didn't realize I knew the person until I walked in the room and I went, oh my God, I went to high school with that person. And because the names were different, you know, the last names changed, especially for the women. Even one guy, and I didn't even recognize the name because my class had 500 people in it, my graduating class, and I looked at the name and then he walked in and I'm like, God, he looks familiar. And until he said where he grew up, his high school, that I went, oh my God, I went to high school. And my fear was he's going to look at my name on the end of the thing and he's going to go, I went to school with her, and then I'm going to get in trouble. So I waited till the first break and then I said something, and I said, just so y'all know, he doesn't remember me, I don't remember him, but we went to high school together. And then he looked at me, he goes, I thought you looked familiar. And I was like, see, I knew I better say something, you know. And they're like, oh, it's cool, you know. But just out of an abundance of caution, you should let them know that kind of thing. Yes.
I went to a job once, and I also knew the witness because I'm a church musician, and I said, which church is this, you know, everything. So I knew them, but not very well. And so I just told everybody that how we knew each other, and they were all cool with it.
Right. It's better to be safe than sorry, right?
And one more time, I was subbing in court, and I freaked out. I see the docket, and the #1 case is my next door neighbor.
Oh, well, funny.
And they were interveners in a child custody case
right.
for the daughter's child, unmarried daughter's child. I knew a little bit. I mean, I knew
right.
the daughter had a child. She wasn't married, but I didn't know all this other stuff. So I told the judge. We went on a short break after Dr. called, and I told the judge, I said, And they weren't in my neighbors were not in the courtroom, just their attorney, which I knew him from doing some family law, but anyway, I just thought I should tell her, just in case. I said, I don't know anything about what's going on, I haven't heard anything, you know. She said, if you haven't heard anything, you haven't had direct discussions with them about this. I mean, I had no idea. So I just told her, and then she was okay with it.
See, it's better, you know, you never know. I have a funny one. I have a friend who's an official in Montgomery County, who shall remain nameless. And they were doing the jury panel, picking the jury, and they asked everyone if they knew anybody in the courtroom. And one of the jurors raised their hand and said, "Oh yes, I know the court reporter." And I remember my friend said she looked up and she was like, she didn't really recognize the person, and she goes, "Yeah, she checked into my hotel last night with your boyfriend." She said she turned like beet red, and she was the lady at the hotel that was, you know, checking her at the front desk, checking everybody in. So yeah, that was pretty funny. So I guess you shouldn't go to the city where you're in. Yeah. I was like, there's a moral to that story. Thought that was pretty funny. So also, we're supposed to guard against even the appearance of impropriety, right? Preserve the confidentiality. I can't read today. Be truthful and accurate. Y'all know all this. Refrain as an official or a freelancer from reporting activities that interfere with your duties. Now, this is a question I have for some of you. Do any of you do both freelance and official? Are you like an actual official and then you do freelance on the side? Subbing, that's different. Subbing is different. But are any of you an actual, the official, and you do depositions too? You ever have any problem with that? You run into anything that could create a problem for you?
I live in a pretty small
town. Right. So you kind of have to, yeah. Makes sense.
I took the deposition of my husband's uncle.
Right.
And everybody knew.
Everybody knew, yeah. I mean, I think in those kind of circumstances, there's probably nothing you can do unless they call somebody in from out of town. When you're in a small town like that, yeah.
I think if you disclose it, they're okay with it.
I think so too. And I don't know about y'all, but if that happens, I always make them put it on the record to cover myself. I always just say, would y'all just please state that on the record, just for my own benefit. I think it's probably a good idea, a good practice, just to cover yourself. Because, you know, we should always cover ourselves. You never know, you know, what could come back to bite you later. We should refrain from giving gifts. Do y'all give gifts to your clients? Do y'all take stuff to your jobs as, quote, gifts? Do y'all take cookies and all that kind of stuff to your jobs? I know a lot of people do that. I have friends who bake cookies and brownies and all this stuff. I don't do that. Do y'all do that? Who the heck has time? I'm like, more power to you, but you know, most of the time when I take something, it sits there, nobody touches it, because half of my clients are always on a diet. So I just started carrying sugar-free candy. I'm like, I'm carrying sugar-free candy because half of my clients are diabetic. You know, so I just stick that in the bag, and if somebody looks like they're about to pass out, I'll whip it out. Here you go. You know, because I just don't carry a bunch of stuff. Who's got time for that, or who's got room to carry all that stuff? Let's just be honest, right? But there are firms who do that, and they require their reporters to take stuff out with them every time. Mine used to do that, and I just quit, so I'm not doing it. They even give us little kits they want us to carry out every deposition. I don't do that either. Do any of y'all do that with like pens and highlighters and notepads and all that? I don't do any of that. They want you to, but I don't do that.
I walked in to do a deposition one time, and there was double booked. They had got me and another woman, and so when she showed up, we were all in the room, and I was going to volunteer anyway.
Right.
To leave. I didn't want to be there that day. But all the attorneys were like, "Okay, we'll take her," and it offended me. I was like,
yeah.
"Oh gosh." Well, I found out later she's the one that has the candy and all the
stuff.
And they wanted her because of what she brought to the table.
Right, exactly.
So then I started thinking, maybe I should be bringing candy and free this and free that.
They're not looking at your qualifications, they're looking at what you bring to them.
I've actually had attorneys I met on the other side of a case give my card to the secretary and had a secretary call me at some point later and say, "And what do you do for like birthdays and things?"
Yes. Yes.
And I said, "I will wish you a happy birthday, but if my if us doing a good job is not going to be sufficient for you, then I'm not the right firm for you anyway."
Yes, I do the same thing. I just
seriously.
yeah.
If that's how you're going to choose.
Yes.
You deserve whatever you get.
Exactly. I agree with you. And there are a lot of firms that do require their people to take stuff out. And they get a little upset if you don't. And if the salesperson shows up and you don't have your stuff out, they'll go back to the firm and tell them, well, she didn't take her stuff, she didn't have it out. And I always get really mad, and I'm like, because I'm not going to. I work for 20 different firms. Tomorrow I may be here for a different firm, and I'm going to be going, wait, which firm am I here for? Oh, so I'm supposed to carry 20 different firms' stuff with me? I don't think so. It's not happening. No. So I just don't do it.
I'd like to say on the flip side of that, our firm was actually fired and Bob Patterson Associates, big respected firm down in Corpus, told his secretaries not to call a firm anymore because the owner partner, he wasn't a court reporter, but he did it via the admiralty. At Christmas time, he gave the secretaries to our client, well, whatever, his clients, gift cards valued at $15, $20 or whatever to the ladies that called and scheduled with us. And when Bob Patterson found out that his secretaries or legal aides received gift cards from our court reporting firm, he completely fired our firm. And we were not, we lost a big client.
That's
interesting. 0 and 8s and 0 and 6s. I was angry because that girl's secretary's $15 gift cost me a lot of money. No longer used by him.
That's interesting.
He was very upset because him as an attorney and a law firm didn't want it to look like he was buying the court reporters. Even though the gift was to the secretaries that scheduled the court reporters, we had nothing to do with it, and we were the ones that ended up losing.
That's kind of the opposite of what usually happens.
I think that's why he was highly respected.
Yeah, definitely. Just being extremely ethical. Yeah. I know a lot of firms do take stuff, like at Christmas, I don't know if y'all do that. At Christmas, I'll make cookies or something and take it to my clients. I'll give them a gift bag for everybody in the firm. I have one firm that is super healthy. They don't like candy and all that stuff, and if you bring it in, it usually goes in the trash because they're all on diets. So I always take a big bowl of fruit and give it to them at Christmas, but I don't do all throughout the year. It's Christmas. I do one thing, but it's for everybody, and so, but yeah, so I get it. Anybody else do anything different? Do y'all disagree? Do you think you should take stuff to every job? I know people who sometimes if I'm at certain firms, like if there's a break, they make cookies. Like one of the firms I work for, if they have depositions in their office, they make cookies and bring them in, like at lunch or something. And I don't see anything wrong with that, but I'm not going to take them everywhere I go. I'm just not going to do it.
I do it on Saturdays.
Yeah, if you have,
It always sucks being there. No one wants to be there. I'll bake muffins the night before.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that either.
I had a young attorney, and I said, well, who do you use for a court reporter? And he said, oh, that firm that brings cookies.
Yeah.
And I started laughing. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to think about that. I wonder which attorneys give out cookies. So I wonder which attorney I'll hire next that gives out cookies.
Yeah.
And I just
That's a good one.
It kind of embarrassed him, but he started laughing too, and he realized how stupid that sounds.
It is.
And I said, really, I have my work, is why somebody hired me.
I really wish we could go back to when I first started reporting. We didn't do all that stuff. And it was based on if you got along with the attorney got along with you, and you did a good job for them, then they kept hiring you. It wasn't based on cookies and pies and all the stuff you could give them every time, or they get big gift baskets. Because y'all know they're limited, right? What is it, $150? 100 every year? Per firm, right? It's per client. Yeah.
I actually had a client show me, I went to do a deposition the other day, and there's a firm that's been courting him. And he goes, so you want to know who showed up today with cookies? And he showed me the picture from the girl's Facebook page. She's like a swimsuit model or something. The girl, whoever the firm is, hired to do their, and I said, does she report? He goes, I don't think so. I think that they like the firms to think she's going to come and show up. I guess she just delivers the cookies, and because she's hot, they're supposed to hire with this firm.
Exactly.
And he started laughing. I says, it works. He goes, not for me, probably for some people.
For some people, yeah.
So I guess you're stuck with me then.
Right.
Here's a situation with the cookies. A really good client of mine hired a second secretary that's handling only one insurance kind of those cases.
Right.
So for years, when this firm has booked a job, they'll ask me to hire the videographer. I just make the arrangements with the videographer.
Right.
So since she hired this new secretary, she informs me for this certain insurance company's work that she's contacted so-and-so videographer to be videographer for all these cases. And I'm thinking, now does she just do this on her own, or does my client really know it? I don't think my client really knows it, because I haven't been told that any of these other cases I have to go with this videographer. And so I show up at the job for the first time a week and a half ago. He made the cookies, homemade, and brought it to the job. And they said, and they made a big deal about, oh, well, so-and-so, the videographer, made the cookies and they're in the kitchen. So I go in there and get one, for sure. And I'm thinking, this aggravates the holy crap out of me, because I want to use the same videographer we've been using, that my client, the lawyer, knows, and we've been doing, and this new person comes in as her employee. So should I, and so I'm in a dilemma, should I say something or not? I've decided I'm not, because a lot of her work is not even video.
Right.
And as long as we don't touch the other work, you know, and I'm not, so much of my work, it's not like everything I do is
video. Don't risk it all, yeah.
And that his whole livelihood is dependent on my work, and far from it. So I've decided I'm letting it go. But you know, I feel like that's not that ethical either.
Yeah.
She wants to hire him because he makes homemade cookies and brings them, the videographer.
Right.
I'm not making this up.
I know there are some videographers out there that do that. They bring big bags of candy, big bowls of stuff, and yeah. And I'm always kind of floored. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not bringing anything. So does that make me look bad? You know?
I worked in LA for about 15 years, and I worked for Atkinson Baker, and they had a videographer, and he'd been there forever, and he always knew he was on the, you know, when he should, that's a really good job, he was there. He always brought donuts, and the attorneys just loved him because he always brought donuts, you know. But whatever.
I know, it's like, okay, it's like, do I, don't I? You know, I always kind of wait, and this is sort of how I determine if I'm going to do something. If it's people I've worked with, like maybe I already did one depot with them, and I know they're going to go all day, and they don't take lunch till 2, I may stop and get breakfast tacos or something. But I don't, like, I'm not going to take cookies and stuff, but I may take breakfast tacos or just something easy if it's going to be one of those kind of cases. If it's going to be some short thing or I don't know the people, I don't usually do it, because it happens when they don't touch it. There's so many times I brought stuff and it sat there and nobody even touched it. So I'm like, I'm not going to waste my money doing that stuff. So it's all just kind of, I guess, if you feel like you want to do something. But just remember the rules of gift giving, and you're only allowed so much per firm. If somebody nails you, you know, like they did some firms out in California, and there was a big mess about all that U.S. legal stuff. So you just have to be careful that you don't get into trouble. Maintain the integrity, y'all know that. Abide by the Constitution and bylaws of NCRA. We did that part, okay. Okay, so what time is it? I don't even have a watch. Can y'all let me know when it's close to 3? They're going to bring cookies in. So we got time. The power of sugar. Yeah, today we got cookies. Speaking of cookies, at 3 o'clock we have a cookie break. That's so unethical for Jeff to bring on the cookies. I'm so sorry. So what else have we got going on out there? What's going on? What's new here in San Antonio? Anything going on? Anything anybody wants to talk about? Yes.
I was gonna, you had asked earlier about anything that happened in depots, and I actually had my deposition taken.
Oh, did you really?
And it was actually because it's my sister's. It's a lawsuit where my sister they basically overdosed her when she went in for migraine.
Oh wow.
It's pretty contentious, and the attorney on the other side has been rumored before I had my depo taken. All my family members said he's such a jackass. And so when it came time to go take it, you know, I mean, he and I actually got along pretty well, and he said, you know, did you talk to your sister, you know, Julie? I said, yes, you know, she called me the night before her deposition. What did she say? And I said, you know, she was nervous and all that. I said, you know, and they apparently thought it was a big deal that I must have coached everybody since I'm a court reporter.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you're giving far too much credit. And then he said, well, did you talk to her after depo? And I said, I did. And he goes, well, what did she say? And I kind of just went, he goes, no, you have to tell me. What did she say? And I said, she said, you're a jackass. The whole rest of the day, about every 45 minutes, he'd go, so am I a jackass?
Oh, no.
I'd say, not Not yet, but there's still time.
That's good.
So now it's become a thing through all the depots. He asks all of our family members if he is.
Oh my gosh.
And he tells everybody that I told him that he was, but I never did. I never said he was. I simply said it had been reported that he was.
That's crazy.
But he did actually. He took another depot in Houston, and I got a call from a friend of mine who's a court reporter who said, I'm working with TJ in this deposition, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't know who you're talking about. She said, you know, the jackass. And apparently, we come to her for information about me. He made like we were big old friends. She didn't know he had taken my depot.
Oh my
He made it
gosh.
sound like he was one of my clients from Dallas. And he come to her for as much information about me and my family as he could.
Oh my
It
gosh.
turned out he really was.
Oh my goodness. God. Has anybody else had to give their depot? I hope I did. You had to?
Yes.
Was it stressful?
It was.
Yeah.
And I answered, uh-huh.
Even though you knew better.
I did.
Even though
I
you...
said, oh, sorry about that.
Forgive me. I know better.
Did the court reporter do a good job on yours?
She did.
Good. Cool. Okay. So what is y'all's thought on this audio tape business? Do y'all leave your recorder on during breaks? Do y'all use a backup? Like a digital backup or something? Do you leave it on during breaks or do you turn it off? Everybody turns theirs off? I forget. I do. I'm so like thinking about what's going on at that moment, and I totally forget about it. So if they had to subpoena your tape, what would you do? Go back and listen to the whole thing and take it out?
I'd say it didn't work.
So it didn't work? That's what I do. I had somebody call me the other day, and they said, this attorney is wanting my audio. They were questioning, they said that they had left out like 4 questions. They were questioning it. And she said, I went back and listened to the whole thing. Those questions were never asked. And I said, that's typical. They probably just thought they did, or they did it at a break, or they did it before, and just didn't do it on the record. And she said, well, I went back and listened, and I called them and told them that it's not there. But now they want my audio. And I said, I just tell them, right after I listened to it, I went on and erased it. Because they knew that she had listened to it to make sure it wasn't there.
Like, because it's sort of like your work product.
Exactly.
And because it could be left on when it should be off.
Exactly.
And there could be other cases on it.
Exactly.
Or confidential stuff like attorney-client privilege. If you're at the thing, I think.
Right.
It's like our personal property.
Yes.
So
It's our work product.
Yeah, but I think it's also considered our personal property.
I was with, I don't know if any of y'all have ever worked with Zandra Foley before, of Thompson Co. She actually went to court with a court reporter on that very issue, and she has case law on that. So if you ever need it, Zandra always says she'll give it to me. I didn't get it from her before this, but she has case law on that showing that it is our work product and they're not entitled to it. So we can always get that from her if we need it.
I got out of this that they called me to tell me they were going to subpoena the audio.
Right.
And I said, but I asked them about it on during a break, and the other attorney was talking about confidential information. I can't let you have it, so they dropped it.
Oh, that's cool.
Or they'll make you go back and just take the copy of the part that is relevant.
They did not. I got lucky. They did not. They just told me.
Hopefully you're charging them for that.
Mine's a little bit in the reverse.
Okay.
I was so ticked off. Well, I wasn't ticked off because I got a motion to correct the record. Because I had an appeal and they filed a motion to correct the record.
Right.
Because my judge was talking to the jury before we're dire, and they went all on the record. So, and it was the judge I used to work for was talking about John Peter Zinger, who was she talked to the jury about it's a right and how much it's part of our freedom that we started way back in the 1700s or whatever, blah blah. Anyway, she talked about this journalist that was saying bad things about, I'm not sure if it was Philadelphia or New York. Anyway, I think the author was, the journalist from New York talked about the governor or somebody of Philadelphia in a bad way. It was about defamation. That was her intro to every jury trial. That jury trial was about defamation. And the plaintiff's lawyer said that she prejudiced the jury in the beginning. As luck would have it, we did a little bit of pre-trial, or a lot of pre-trial, and then stuff before lunch. I left my file all open, but my audio was off, whatever. We came back and the jury was coming in after lunch at 1:30. And I started to write, write. And about a minute and a half or 2 minutes in, she's talking about this defamation thing. I looked at my screen and it's frozen. nothing's coming out of my real time. But my disk is taking stuff down, whatever.
Right.
So fast forward, that's what they were appealing, that I didn't say stuff. She said stuff that was bad about the word. She said the word defamation. And so I gave them, they called me as a witness in the motion to correct the record.
Right.
I had my computer there. I hooked up speakers so they could hear my audio where my audio went off. And then I gave them all my notes. I gave them my digital notes. And I said, because I said, if you need to hire an expert, anybody who does stenograph theory or any other theories, I said just not Philadelphia Clinic, because I went back to my school stuff.
Right.
Here it all is, because they said I left it out on purpose, and I was so ticked off.
Oh,
They said I was trying to cover my judge. And the word defamation that they said, you know, she had said was in the record. You know, it was, without getting into a 5-hour story, it was, anyway, I volunteered it because I wanted them to know this is where my audio died.
Right.
Here's where my file continues on the disk, my steno notes, my translated longhand, you know, what was there and what wasn't, but
right.
it was the steno, and anyway, the court of appeals agreed with me. I didn't get anything, they didn't correct anything.
Yay, go. Good job. So what else is going on? Anything going on? Where are y'all from? Are anybody from here, San Antonio? Or are y'all from everywhere else? Y'all are cool. So what else is going on? I recognize you. And what else is going on here? Anything out of the ordinary going on here that the rest of us should know about? Did any of y'all go to new judges? Okay. UVA. Tad good or bad? Got tattoos?
I'm saying that not in a bad way.
Right.
They made a big deal out of that.
Okay.
We had a Bible story. My judge is retiring. A new judge is elected. The coordinator who just ran through this 4-year thing went ballistic because he didn't tell us we had a job. This coordinator, the court reporter, was hired by the judge.
Okay.
And I've been there so damn long. Anyway, I used to be an Asian woman. Anyway, she calls him up to ask him, do we have a job? And he says, I don't have time for this. I need to call you next week to talk to you and Bettina. And I need to be composed because it's election. We took a lot on me. But tell Bettina this. Tell her to stay cool, like Pulp Fiction. She'll know what that means. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
He hired you. So you're saying you got your job. Yay. That's good. Oh my gosh. So I got anything else going on? I don't know anything going on in Houston that you know about? You're in Houston, right? Anything going on there that you know about? I was trying, we didn't, the last seminar that I did, we did one in Houston. There was nothing going on there either. I was like, what's going on that's bad? Didn't hear anything bad. That's good. It's good, right? Good thing. So y'all have anything bad going on that we all need to be worried about?
Well, no one's going to follow her story.
I know, really. That was a good story. That was a good one. But, so I'm trying to think. Did any of y'all go to TCRA? The convention in Galveston? Did anybody go? None of y'all went? That was actually a pretty good one. What? I didn't hear you.
That's why we're here.
That's why you're here. Well, you know, I always try to go to that so I can listen to what's happening out there. There's not really a lot going on except for all this stuff with the CRCB. They didn't really talk about much else. But if you are members, you should be getting an email, like a little, it's like a little newsletter type thing that is really kind of good. I think it's more for freelancers than it is for officials. But it's got good information. They're trying to keep people informed. They're trying to come up with new ideas, inventive ideas. Breck Records on there. I guess you all saw that Breck and Ann, they moved to Midland from El Paso. So he's been working on that too, trying to keep people informed about what's happening. He's really good at that, really good with students. And if any of y'all want to mentor, we could use you badly. So just throwing that out there.
Well, do you have, is your school full, or do you have a whole,
No, I have like 9 students right now. I have some more coming in. I don't know if y'all heard this, but CRID closed their doors last week in Dallas. They put everybody online. They've been talking about it for a long time, but they never did anything. Students went to go to class last week, and they walked up, and the doors are locked. And yeah, it happened last week. One of my students was on Facebook and she said, Pam, did you hear it? I said, what are you talking about? So I went online and TCRA actually called and confirmed it. So they did close their doors. They moved everybody online. They had already done that in Houston with CRY. Yeah, they did that one, well, 2 years ago because that's why I opened. They did that 2 years ago, and then they just did that with CRID, and they moved. They're telling people either to go to Arlington or to go online.
Do people make it online?
No. No, she's asking if people make it online. I have a bunch of students that decided to try it because what CRY did in Houston was they let them go online to try and finish, and they weren't really charging them much to finish, and so they decided to try it. They wouldn't have to pay back their financial aid, and most of them are still languishing in that land, and it's been 2 years. So I've had a few of them because they couldn't afford to pay back their loans right now because they're not done. They were going online to do what needed to be done, and they were coming to me for night school and just paying my rate for night school. And I have one girl right now that just finished her mocks. She's not passed any of the mocks online for the school, but she's eligible to graduate. So I said, just go on and graduate with them so you can get your associates. You've already been there 4 years, you might as well get it done. And then you can work off my SOP for the test. But I told her she had to be writing 240 before I would give her her SOP because I don't think she's ready. And I'm tired of people coming to get my SOP, taking a test and failing. It counts against me. So I'm not going to let them do that anymore. I've had 3 people already do that and fail twice after I told them not to do it because they weren't ready. So I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm being tough.
What is SOP?
The statement of proficiency, I'm sorry. Statement of proficiency. School lingo. Statement of proficiency. Yeah. So I have them pass at 98% instead of 95 so that they're more prepared to go, especially because most of these students that come over to me from that school, they thought they were writing, a lot of them thought they were writing 225 when they came to me, and when we tested them, they were writing 180. So it kind of freaked them out. I lost a lot of students when I had I think I had 15 that transferred over with me that supposedly were in their 225s. And so I only pulled one instructor from CRY. And I took one instructor that I know, and I know she's really awesome, and I brought her over. And then I hired other, Shirley Baker works for me. And then I have some other, I have one of my first students that graduated owns a captioning company, cart company, and she's owned that for a long time but never passed her test. So she was my first, quote, graduate because I told her, I said, if you will come over and do everything I tell you for 3 months and don't question me, I don't want you to question me at all, just listen to us and do what we say, you'll pass the January test. Well, she did. So, and she passed it with flying colors. So I said, okay, I said, now, I need you to teach. And so because she's working, but she mostly runs her business and she doesn't report. So she came over and she's doing my theory classes right now. And so we're focusing on, I want you to be writing all this at 98%, you know, so that you can pass the test. Because their biggest thing when they came over there, I don't know how they were doing their speeds. I'm really confused about it because they really were not writing 225. I was very surprised. I mean, I came from Alvin, so if those of you who went to Alvin, you know how tough they were. And so I just felt like, and a lot of their tests that they were taking were really easy from the other school, and I don't do easy. And so, I mean, some of our stuff's medical. I mean, I give them hard stuff because I want them to be able to pass the test the first time. So that's been a challenge. I did lose a lot of people. They went back online, but they're now starting to call me back, begging me to come back. And I'm like, well, you're going to do what I tell you to do, not question me? Maybe I'll let you back in. You know?
So what do you mean it's held against you if they fail?
If they work off of my SOP, what happens is, you know, it shows all that stuff on the website, who passes and who fails, and it shows you the percentage for the schools. It counts against me if they fail. Right now, I had 100%. It lowers my percentages, yeah. And some schools won't take them. You know, like Alvin won't take them if they're not doing certain things. They make them retake a bunch of stuff, and Mark won't take them. Mark just says no. So I'm kind of it, unless they go online, or they go to Mark Greenberg. What is that one called? Steno, I don't know what I'm talking about. The online one, I forgot the name of it. Anybody know what that's called? It's an online, and he encourages everybody to go back to school and use him as practice. But some people decide to do that on their own and just go to his. It's like $30 a month. It's an online. He looks at their notes, the way they write things. He's not here in Texas. He's somewhere else. But yeah, the people who are going online are not doing well. They're just not doing well. They're not passing. And I don't know, right now, I don't know of anyone who's actually passed to go take the state test from being online. I don't know if y'all do. I haven't heard of anyone. So if y'all can mentor some students and help people out, and if you know of anybody who wants to come to school, I'm trying to get more students in so we can get them out. That's the problem. We get them up to their 225s, and then they freak out because they've been in school too long, and they don't keep coming. Or they get to that point where they think they're ready to take the test. They go take it, they fail it twice, and then they just stop coming. And there's a lot, I know of a good 30 people out there right now that are not reporters simply because they couldn't pass the test. And I don't know if this is happening here, but in cart providers, they're working towards getting them licensed also. And in Houston, there's only 2 schools now that I'm aware of that will allow non-CSRs to do their cart providing. They now have to be certified reporters. For University of Houston and all those schools, they have to be certified. So a lot of students that used to do those cart jobs, they can't do them anymore, which is a good thing. I don't think they should be doing it anyway. But it's making a shortage because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to go work for $100 a day when I could go take a job and make $600. You know what I'm saying? So it's creating a problem. So we need to get some more of these people out and get them moving. So we got some people to do those jobs. So these new reporters. So if y'all know somebody who quit school and you can get them back in, please do. I don't know if y'all realize 76% of court reporters across the U.S. right now are over 50. And 76%.
The whole United States?
Yes. 76% are over 50.
Wow.
Yeah.
Find a student and make them your scopist, because I'm working on that right now, and it's
really
awesome. Yes.
Yes, I'm doing that.
She's so excited about, because she's learning.
They're willing to learn. I have several that are willing to do that.
And she is excited about what she's learning at school, and then she'll come over, and I've only had her with me for a couple of weeks.
That's
and
awesome.
I don't get to work with her as much as I'd like, but it's fun too, because I remember those.
It helps you. I don't know about you guys, but when I go in, I don't do a lot of classes because I'm too busy, but I'll go in and sub sometimes for one of my instructors who maybe is stuck at a job or whatever, and I do the technical classes, the 9 o'clock classes at night, and so sometimes it just helps me. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a brief for that, because I've been writing so long that I'm really bad about not using briefs. I write out everything. And so I'll go there and go, oh yeah, I can do that as a brief, because I don't think about those things anymore because I'm out there working. But it really kind of helps you make your writing better when you are teaching somebody else. So if you ever thought about doing that, if you've got schools in your area. And the other thing that's really awesome is if you would go talk to high schools and junior colleges about court reporting. We would all appreciate that. NCRA is I don't know if y'all heard this, but they're doing a huge push to try and get court reporters, get students into the schools. More schools have closed. There was another school in, I want to say, was it Alabama? I can't remember. There's 2 more that have closed recently in the last 6 weeks, besides Grid. And so they're trying to get more students out there. They put a big article in the Wall Street Journal. Did y'all see that? On the front page, that was last month. They did an article on the front of the Wall Street Journal. You know that documentary with Marcus coming out? I think it's already out. There's a big documentary about Mark Kissenberry and a bunch of other court reporters that are speed champions that they put together that is coming out in theaters. I think it already did last month. Hit theaters last month, yes. It's a documentary, it's a movie. Yeah, they did a big movie on court reporting. It's all about court reporting. And it's all, and NCRA is working with others. They're trying to make a push to get people into court reporting because there is such a shortage. They're expecting to be short 5,500 court reporters by the end of next year. I don't know if y'all realize that. Yes, 5,500 short, because there are so many positions open that they can't fill because we don't have enough people. I have friends that want to retire that can't because there's nobody to take their place.
So are they losing court reporters to captioning?
They are not. No, there's a shortage for captioning too. There's a big shortage. You know those TV stations get fined for everything that's not captioned. I don't know if y'all realize that. And so they would much rather pay somebody to caption than to pay all these fines that they're having to pay. So they want captioners. We are in desperate need of reporters out there for everything, every aspect. There are a lot of states who don't have enough reporters, which is why ER is going on in these states. It's why some of these people are getting a stronghold with the ER, because there's not enough court reporters to fill the positions. So if y'all can go speak to a school near you, that'd be awesome.
I'm from California, and what they've done is they get rid of the court reporters and lay them off so that they can say they don't have enough court reporters so that they can put ER in. And
Yes.
I know it's going through other states too.
That's been happening a lot, and I just heard recently, and I'm trying to remember what state it is. I can't remember if it was Idaho. I want to say Idaho. I could be wrong, but there was a state recently that did that very thing, and there was a bunch of trials that the equipment didn't work, and they rehired all their court reporters back, all of them. So I think it's a matter of if they try it and they have that kind of issue, then they end up hiring them all back. So it's just a matter of us pushing it, and I mean going out there and fighting for it. And you know, it's funny, I went and spoke in Chicago last year for Jeff, and it's so different there. And they were surprised at how cohesive we are in Texas. I don't know if y'all realize how lucky we are here, because I'm a member of TCRA, and I know that every time something happens, I get an email. We need you to do this, we need you to do that. Well, when they send you those emails, they mean business. They need you to, whatever it is they're telling you to do, you need to do it, because they're trying to protect us in Texas. The other states are not like that. They're not like that at all, and it's very surprising. When I go, they're like, oh my God, you're from Texas, tell us how we need to do this, and tell us how we need to do that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, and they're like, well, we're just not cohesive. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to save this. There was a state, and I'm trying to remember, a state up north, I don't remember which state, that went to NCRA too late, and they all lost their jobs, you know, because they weren't cohesive. And that's what's so awesome about Texas is we all kind of work together. And we all, when there's a problem, we get an email from somebody, we send it out to all of our friends, and boom, it's done. So we need to think about that nationally. It's not happening, so that we all can protect what we're doing. Yes, ma'am.
There was a court in Laredo that went to the ER. And
did I hear her? A court in Laredo went to ER.
And that was a complete mess, and now they have a court order. But the thing is that those companies that put that equipment in, they need to pay somebody to operate it.
Right.
And be certified, I think, because they have to do the speakers and whatever.
Exactly. They have to pay somebody to do it. Y'all hear her okay?
And then you have to have somebody, either that person or another person, transcribe it.
Yes.
And so, I mean, it still costs money, plus the equipment, and like how if you have a phone in a year it's, you know, obsolete, or if you have a computer it's obsolete. Well, they're doing the same thing with the ER stuff. So if they buy the equipment, then that government agency or whoever, you know, within the next year or two, they have to buy, like, you know, warranties and upgrades and all that, and then eventually they'll say, well, we're not going to use that equipment anymore. So really,
they're not saving anything.
They're not saving anything.
Right.
Because they're interested in selling equipment, not a one-time equipment.
Right.
You know, I have to tell you, in California, or in my house anyway, the clerk.
Can y'all hear her over there?
The clerk just puts it on. In my state in California, or my courthouse, the court clerk just, the machines are actually, the software is inside the court clerk's monitor and computer. And they're the ones who just put it on right from the monitor.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you an official or freelancer?
Official. It's really upsetting.
Yeah.
And then when there's readback, they go in there and they push it, turn it on for the jury and walk out.
So they have to listen to the whole thing. They're not getting just the part they want.
They don't take objections out. They don't take. I mean,
what about confidential portions? They get to hear all of it. Oh, interesting.
And
Did y'all hear that?
I mentioned it to a judge, and he goes, "Well, we don't know how else to do it."
Because they get a court order. Duh. Yeah.
It's upsetting. It really is.
It really is. Because they're kind of breaking the law by doing that, because they're letting people hear in these confidential sections. Cookie break?
Cookie break.
Cookie break. Let's take a break and then we'll come back and have a game. In case they have to look at it. You know what I find is funny is most of the time the people who want real time or either patent attorneys, a lot of my patent attorneys, they want real time because they forget what was said, a few questions back, or they're ADD or ADHD and they can't remember things and they want to look. That's usually the people who are using the real time screens, typically. That I found anyway. Have any of you found any different?
I don't have any patent attorneys.
Yeah, not a fun thing. I love patents. It's so much fun.
I think my last judge liked to use it because they would object all the time.
Right.
And so you would get to see the question, and you just be like, no. Or you keep making that same question. You've done it 5 times.
You've done it 5 times. Go back and read it. Yes.
And then he could do other things, you know, administrative. If they did the objection, he'd look up, same question.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he just liked to make his job in the jury and the trial
Right.
faster. And it's also visual.
Right. It's a good video. You know, and sometimes, I found this too, sometimes if you have a case that's been ongoing and they're starting to that point where they're taking all the expert witnesses, it seems like that is when they start wanting a lot of real time. If they're getting close to the end and they've got all these technical terms and all this, and that's when they kind of throw you at it. I just always make sure if it's some case that's technical, I go look up the case online and get every single word I can find that has anything to do with that case and put it in my dictionary. Regardless if it's already in my personal, I don't care. I'll come up with a brief for it the night before, put it all in my dictionary. That way it's all fresh in my mind. And then when I get there that morning, I start writing I write them down on paper because that way it sticks in my head. That's the way I remember things. And that morning when I get to the job and set everything up, I look at that piece of paper and I start writing all those words to see what's not training. And I go in and make a new brief for it. Or if they say something different, pronounce it differently than I have it in my dictionary, I go say that word and then I'll put it in my dictionary. For my job dictionary, just to make sure that I have it down. And that just makes me more comfortable when I'm doing real time. That's just how I remember. So whatever works for you to make you remember it, because I bet all of you have been reporting for a long time, so I know all of you are ready to do that. It just takes getting out there and putting yourself out there a little bit.
I agree.
Yeah, you can do it.
It really is intimidating at first.
It is. That's why I say give it free. Give it free to your worst clients.
And most people were all writing better than we think we're writing.
Exactly. We're all too critical of ourselves.
Yeah, very much so.
Yes.
It's part of our profession.
We're all court reporters. We're probably what? All type A personalities. Most of us, I can guarantee you. Because you wouldn't be a court reporter if you weren't. But that messes with the antitrust laws. They won't do that. Messes with the antitrust laws, banding together like that.
We got in big trouble with that about 30 years ago right here in Houston.
Really?
Some court reporting meeting, and we got sued.
Really? He said that was raised in a court reporting meeting, and it happened here in Houston, and got sued. So you have to watch the antitrust laws too. You know, you got to be careful with that kind of thing.
It was Jack Moorhead, retired court. He said on TV, I was calling.
What's his name?
Jack Moorhead.
Jack Moorhead. Oh yeah, I remember Jack Moorhead. Yeah. Yeah. So y'all ready to play a game? What time is it? Okay, let's do the game. So, I passed out 4 cards a little before we started. Their team, they say team 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 people, would you please come up here really quickly?
What number left? Go gone.
She's 1. Okay. Team 1.
Remember in our first session this morning when it said D-I-S-C? And the first one was director? I'm not.
Team 2. Team 2. Team 4. Thank you. You're welcome. Team 4. Thank you. Team 3. Thank you. That's her back. All right. Now, let me kind of tell you what this is. Okay. I made this up, so bear with me. Okay. This is called Get a Clue. So first of all, let me get everything, gotta get it back going again, hold a sec. And the way this is gonna work, we're gonna break off into teams, all right? So let me have my team leaders. I need 1 over here, 2 back there, 3 back there, and 4 over here. Got my team leaders? Oh, that's okay, she's over in there when she comes back. All right, and so then we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. So go to your corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 back there. Y'all count off. 1, 2, 3, 4 back there. You're going to join your teams. Everybody got that? Count off. Join your teams. Y'all got your numbers? Let's start with one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. We'll come back to her. 2, 3, 4 in blue. 1. Y'all count off back there because I can't see you. You're 2, 2. Keep going. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Good. This is 1 up here. twos are back there, threes are back there, and fours are over here. That way, y'all have to network with people you probably don't know, right? We serve two purposes here. Everybody's networking. Am I going too fast? Okay. Okay. All right, now, here's what's happening. Team leaders, I'm sorry, I forgot to get you to get your buzzers. Team leaders, can I get y'all to come get buzzers? Thank you. Producers, thank you. We got buzzers, we got buzzers. He's got yours. Okay. Now, here's how it's going to work.
Just like catchphrase.
It's kind of. This is called Get a Clue. All right? So this is going to kind of work like the clue game a little bit. All right? So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to read this to y'all so in case you can't see it. There's 4 teams, as you can see. And y'all probably don't, a lot of y'all probably don't know each other. Did that on purpose, okay? There are 3 sets of cards in those bags that you have. All right? You've got a place, a location, you've got people, and you have weapons. Just like Clue, right? So y'all can take those out so that you have them, so your team can see what they are. Everybody's got the same cards, okay? Y'all can set, if y'all want to set your buzzers like on a table or something, that's fine. So y'all have all got your little cards, so y'all kind of see what they are. And I'm going to put a game board up here.
Do we give everybody a card?
You can if you want to. You don't have to, but you can if you want. She said, does she give everybody a card? You can if you want to.
Oh, give everybody a card.
You can if you want to. You don't have to, but you can. So everybody can just see the cards.
Oh, okay.
What's going to happen is I'm going to ask y'all ethics questions up here. And you're going to send one person from your team up here with the buzzer. I'm going to ask the question. We're going to have them come like right over here in the middle, right over here, okay? And when y'all come up here, first part, you just stay where you are. Does that work? That works. Just stay where you are. But you're going to pass the buzzer down, all right, to whoever's going to answer the question. And I'm going to throw out a question. Whichever team buzzes in first gets to try to answer the question. If you answer it correctly, you're going to come up here and you're going to draw one of these cards. And that means that this person, place, or thing is obviously not the murderer with whatever weapon it is and whatever thing. Just like the clue game. Y'all get it? Okay? No. So I'm going to go over it again just to be sure. Anita has already pulled. We got a murderer in here. They murdered the actress. All right? We're just making it up. They murdered the actress. We've got a person. We've got a place, a location where they murdered the person, and a weapon. What are the weapons? Spike heel, steno machine, gavel. Y'all have all those cards. There's 7 weapons, 7 people, and 7 locations. And I'm about to put the game board up there so you can kind of see the places. All right? Now, whoever answers it correctly, your team gets to grab a card, and you'll know that that is not the person who did whatever it is. And you're going to guess a person, a place, a thing. Are you getting it just like Clue? Yeah. Have y'all not played Clue? Come on. Okay. Have you ever played Clue? Okay.
Sounds fun.
Let me pull the board up so it'll make more sense. Here's the board. Let me see. So make it big. Y'all see the Clue board? See Jeff up there? We got Jeff in the corner. Jeff is the court reporting school. These are the places. Let's go over the places. We've got court reporting school. We've got the judge's chambers. We've got the law library, the jury room, the courtroom, the bail bonds place, and the evidence locker. Those are the locations. All right? Now, then we have the people. The people are Kim, my school administrator. She could be a murderer. Okay? We have the judge. Judge could have murdered somebody, right? We have plaintiff counsel, who looks very innocent, by the way. We have the paralegal, who's always got her nose in the book. You just can't trust her, can you? Then we have, who else do we have? We have the court reporter, sitting over there in the corner all quiet. He could have done it, right? Then we have the witness. She could have done it. Who else do we have? Who did I leave off? The defendant. We have the defendant. Okay? Then we have the weapons. What are the weapons? The spike heel, the taser. Name some more weapons. The chair, the steno machine, the gavel, the keyboard, all of them, is that 7? Oh, the briefcase?
I guess I have them, and the keyboard.
And the keyboard. Okay, so we got 7 of everything, right? Oh, so let's go over that one more time. So what's going to happen, what's going to happen is, I'm going to call out a question. One person from each group is going to be responsible for answering that question. Whichever team buzzes in first and answers it correctly, you come pick a card from this stack. This stack, this person in here is not the culprit. So you know you can toss this card back into your little lunch bag until we get down to somebody figuring out who, where, what. Get it? Everybody understand now? Does it make sense? Everybody got it? Any questions? So y'all got your buzzers? Each team get one person, and we're going to pass the buzzer down so everybody gets a chance to answer questions. All right? Make sense? All right. Let's get some questions going.
I just hit the buzzer.
Yeah. We'll just take turns. So like you can answer first if you want, and then the second question, pass it to the next person, and then pass it to the next person. It's not really a group effort. You can try, but whoever buzzes in first, you can do it as a group if you want. I don't care. It might be more fun as a group. What the heck? Why not? I didn't plan it that way, but that's cool. We can do it that way. All right. Here's the first question. Hold on. Let me grab my questions. Too quick for me. Somebody going. All right, let me get my pen. Okay, everybody ready? Here's the first question. Name one website where you can go get HIPAA training. Over here.
The JBC. Yeah, the judicial branch, JBCC, www.jbcc.com.
No. And what's next? MyHIPAAtraining.com. Got it. Okay, so you guys get to come to the card. I didn't hear your buzzer. Come up a little closer. That's okay. I didn't hear you. Okay, just pick a card, and that will tell you this is not who it is. You just look at it and tell your team to give it back to me. Yeah. And then bring it back to me. Don't let anybody else see besides the team. Just your team gets to see it. Yeah, put it in your little, and if you can put it in your little lunch bag. Throw it at her. Like throw it at me? Okay, and that comes back to me. Just get back in anywhere. All right. Okay. Now we're gonna kind of go around a little bit before we try to guess who it is and what it is and all that good stuff. All right. Next one. Let's see. I need my notes. Let's see.
Guys, if I got an answer, just tell me what it is.
Okay. She's trying to guess already. I'm looking for my questions. They got separated. Hold on. Sorry. Here they are. All right. All right. Okay. Let's say you're giving a presentation at a paralegal convention or an attorney's convention, whatever, and you get everybody's business card, and you're going to have a drawing for a $150 gift basket. Does that fall within ethical rules?
No.
No. Correct. Y'all get to come up here and draw a card. Who wants to come draw?
But if you give everybody that. Even the winner.
To draw one. Everybody gets to show everybody what it is, or you can show them and then bring it back to me. Everybody gets to see it. And then y'all remember to put that one in your lunch bag because you know that's not the person or thing or whatever it is. Watch out so other people can't see your cards. All right. Next question. A reporting firm offers to donate $25 for every deposition booked by a particular firm to charity in the law firm's name. Is this a violation of the incentive gifts given in exchange for future work? I heard them first.
I said yes.
It is a violation. Yes. Y'all's turn to come grab a card.
Again.
Grab a card, any card.
Right here.
Okay.
You guys got it. Do you know why that's a violation? Is it the accumulation of money?
Yes, it is. Because it considers a gift to charity on behalf of a client offered in exchange for work and incentive.
Yeah.
Come find out and do that.
Say that again? Okay, y'all got that? All right. Let's see. Okay, y'all ready for this one? Okay. Just say yes. You are at a depot. Yes. Don't say yes. No. You are at a depot and you just finished the job.
Yes.
Okay. You think everyone is left and you're packing up all your stuff. Your all your equipment, you're packing everything up. An attorney walks back in and says, oh, by the way, I need a rough draft of this right now. So, wait, no, that's the question yet. That's the question yet. So, do you give them a rough draft right then and there? He actually rang first.
No.
Yeah. No.
You send it by email and you send it all parties. Right then and there.
Not right then and there on the spot. But no, why? You did win that. You come up here and get a card. But no, because I'm not going to send them one if they're not going to pay for it, dude. Yeah, but they may not want it.
Well, then give it to them free.
No, they ain't getting my work product free.
As everybody gets it at the same time, when you charge them.
I say no. I send them. No, I send an email out and I tell them as soon as this guy responds or lady responds back to me, whether they want it or not. If I don't hear from them by 10 in the morning, I'm sending it out and I send an email and I make a phone call.
Yeah, but I'm just following the rules.
Who
lives? Give it up to them all at once. Money don't count.
I don't do that. Do y'all do that? Never. The rule is that they all have to get it, but if they're going to pay for it, yeah. What if you send it to them and then they go, well, I didn't want that. They're not going to pay for it. I'm not sending it out.
All you have to do is offer it.
You have to, offer it. I send an email.
That guy needs to
email and a phone call.
All you have to do is offer it.
Email and a phone call.
The other side has ordered a copy. Do you want this?
That's right.
You don't automatically send it. You have to offer it.
You have to offer it. I don't send it, I offer. And then I take care of it. All right? Anybody want to guess yet who's doing what? Anybody got it?
I told you it's the judge in the library with the gavel.
All right, let me see, because I don't know, because I need to pick these cards. Let's see. Wrong. Not right yet. Okay. Now, let's see what the next question is. So, let's see. All right, here's a good one. Okay, you're on your way home from a job. You just left. Could be court, could be whatever, depot, whatever, hearing, whatever it is. You're on your way home. You get a phone call from one of the attorneys or a paralegal saying, oh, we need 2 pages of this deposition, like right now. Can you do it?
Yeah.
You have a buzzer. Do you have a buzzer over there?
I said no.
He's like being the buzzer. He's being the buzzer. What was it?
No.
Correct.
Can we guess?
I call. Oh. Yes, ma'am.
Guess who it is now?
Yeah, you can guess.
Is it the court reporter with the machine in the courtroom?
I like that, but no. That would have been way too freaking easy. Y'all think I really would have done that? Let's see, wait. What did you say? Say it again.
The court reporter with the machine in the courtroom.
No, it's not. It's not. Didn't get it. Did I get my card back yet?
That's it.
Okay. All right.
So why can't you do that?
Anybody want to guess yet? I'm sorry, what?
Why can't you do that?
But you have to offer it to everyone, and you can't just read it to somebody on the phone and give it to them right then. You gotta offer it to everybody.
They want you to dictate it to them over there in the phone?
Can you read it? Yeah. Can you read it to me right now?
No, I can't.
Can you pull over and pull out your computer and read it to me? Yeah.
No.
Don't you ever get those? I get those all the time. Like, no. I'm driving.
Wait for an answer from everybody before you can send it out?
No, typically what I do, she's asking, do you have to wait for an answer from everybody before you send it out? Typically what I do is I call everybody and I send an email and I tell them if I don't hear from you by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning or 9 o'clock, whatever, if I don't hear, I usually give them till 10. If I don't hear from you by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, either via email or a return phone call on my cell phone, I'm going to release this information to this other attorney. If you need it, after that point, just let me know.
You have to give.
You have to give fair notice to everybody. I send an email and a phone call to everyone at the same time. I do it for everybody. And then I can do it. Okay, let's see what else we got. All right, here's a good one. You're in a depot or court, and you're about to take testimony of somebody that you think looks familiar, but you're not quite sure. And they're giving their testimony, and you suddenly realize, this person is married to my cousin. Can you report it? I heard you.
No, you cannot.
Correct. You got to disclose, right? You got to disclose and let them make the decision. Everybody see it and bring it back.
Can you do it after you disclose?
If they all agree and nobody, if even one person disagrees, you can't do it. And what I would do is put it on the record that everyone agreed that you knew somebody, that person is distantly related to you. I put it on the record. And then I would put everyone agreed and have them all say they agree on the record.
So the answer is you can't.
Yes. As long as they all agree. All right, next. Let's see. Next question. Okay, here's an easy one. Everybody ready?
Do we have to wait for you to finish
Oh.
the question?
Huh?
Do we have to wait for you to finish the question?
Nah. If you know what I'm going to ask, you never know where it might go. Okay, ready? Okay, on a rough draft, when you're giving out a rough draft to somebody, do you put beginning and end pages on a rough draft?
No.
Correct. And why not? So they don't get it mixed up with the real thing, right? We don't put our beginning and end pages. Our signature pages.
One paragraph. Not even that.
Say it again.
No, you have to put one paragraph.
Right. Not even the witness sworn paragraph. All I ever put. Oh, here, wait a minute. Sorry. That's all right. She was cheating. Yeah, we don't even put the witness sworn paragraph because we don't want that in there.
And I also put a bunch of...
Yeah, and you put your blurb. Uh-oh, how do I do this? What's wrong? Touch. How's that better? Sorry. Don't touch it. All right. Now, let's see what the next one is. Oops. Wrong call. All right, next question. Let's see. Here's a good one. Well, no, I better not do that. That's going to be too confusing. Let's see. Are we required to put the periods after the Q's and A's?
No.
Correct. Do y'all know that? We're not required you don't, it's either or. Has anybody got a good guess yet? Anybody want to try it?
We got it. We got it.
Got my orange one yet? I mean my, whatever the color this is, peach. Looks orange to me.
What is that?
Okay, got it. Anybody want to guess yet?
They ought to.
Y'all got a guess?
I mean, they have the most.
If they know who. Got a guess yet? Want to keep going? Everybody want to keep going? Yeah. Keep going? Okay. Let's see. What's a good question? Okay, here's another one. On the page numbers, you know the numbers down the left-hand side? Are those supposed to be inside or outside of the box? I heard y'all.
Outside.
Correct. Woohoo!
That's our team leader.
Did you get 2 or 1? Okay, cool. All right. She's trying so hard. Push it hard.
Okay.
Hey, you were trying to flash it? Trying to see? Trying to cheat back there, people? All right, here's a really good question. This one will be a state of Texas one, but really this is kind of anywhere. Can a student do any reporting, let's just say in the state of Texas? I heard you.
Cart.
Correct. Can they, what now? Yes, they can do sworn statements and hearings. And cart.
Computer aided real time.
I know.
Okay.
It's evil, isn't it?
Yes, it's bad. No. Give it to her.
Oh, yeah, give that one back to me. Okay.
I did too. No, you give it back to her.
These you give back to me, and yours you pull out and put in the back.
You keep pulling the same part all the time. Oh. That's what makes it.
Okay. I know that's the evil part. You pull the same card. Okay.
Trick.
I know, I'm tricking you. Tricking you. All right, now, here, are we ready? Here's a good one. I keep hitting this thing, sorry. Okay, here's a good one. Y'all ready? Everybody ready? Ready. Do we list certified questions in our index? I heard that one. Yes, we do. Everybody get that? Do we list certified questions in our index?
It's not that because she had.
Okay, everybody ready? Everybody ready? Ready? Okay, here's the question. Do we include recesses, off-the-record discussions, breaks in our time? I heard the boingy one. Who's boingy? Boingy. Yes. No, wait, say it again. What's the answer? Yes. And I said, did y'all understand? Let me read it.
We didn't even hear the whole question.
All right, wait, let's block that question. And I'm going to tell y'all the answer to that. The question was, do we include recesses, off-the-record discussions, or breaks in our time? No.
Even if they look at exhibits for a really long time?
If they look at exhibits for a really long time and they didn't ask to go off the record, they count.
No, actually, I was handed a rule
in a depot. And it's in the rule that if they spend a long time looking at exhibit, it doesn't count.
Yep. I mean, we don't gauge if it's a long time. I always look at them and go, on, off. Made them tell me.
It is in the rule. I mean, it does say in the rule that
if they go a long time. She's saying it does say in the rule book if they go a long time, that it doesn't count. But it's not our decision if it counts or not. I always, if they're going a long time looking at exhibits, I will usually go on, off, on, look at them, on, off.
Qualifies as a long time.
You know, I mean, you know when you have somebody sitting there, I know, that's exactly right. If you have somebody sitting there 20 minutes, 30 minutes looking at something, but usually most attorneys are smart enough to go off the record.
But I have had recently, and
Listen up.
I put witness looking at documents from 232
That's
to
good.
252.
Yeah, that's good. She said she put it in her transcript. Witness looking at documents from 232 to 252. And then did you include it in the time? Did they say they were off, or did they tell you to include it?
I just let it.
You just included it.
I just included it.
Yeah. Let them fight about it. Good point. Let them fight about it. Not our job, right?
Right.
Okay. But I like that you put that parenthetical like that. That's good.
So do we have to wait till the end of the question to buzz, or can we buzz in the middle?
You can buzz in the middle if you know if the question's good. If it doesn't have some crazy turn to it.
Like that?
I like that one. Okay, here's a good one. Y'all ready? Here's an easy one. It's an easy one. When someone says strike that in the record, do we actually strike the testimony? I heard da-da, da-da. Who's da-da? Is that y'all? Da-da. I heard this one. Da-da, yeah. No, good. Is anybody close to guessing anything yet?
The witness
I'm
with
mixing.
the shoe in the bail bonding company.
Let me check. Witness with the shoe and the bail bonding company. Nope. Not it.
Whoops. Now ours goes on. I'm just so excited.
All right, y'all ready? Next question. Okay, ready? If the videographer goes off the record prematurely and the attorneys are still talking, do you as the reporter keep writing or go off? We did it first! I heard that one. Done. I did. I swear I heard that one. Okay. What do I keep hitting that makes that noise? It's bugging me. She's showing it. Did y'all catch that? That was a good one. She was showing it to everybody. Anybody have a guess yet?
Court report with briefcase in the evidence locker.
Wrong. Good try though. Good try. They're all picked at Anita picked them. She picked them at random. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Oops. Can y'all hear me? I think I hit something.
Yeah, you hit something.
What'd I do?
Talk loud.
It's got a red button, Jeff. But y'all can hear me, right? Can y'all hear me? If there's a red button on this, does that mean it's off?
Yeah, it means the battery's dead.
Battery's dead?
Battery's dead.
No, yeah, because that red light's on, so that's working.
This is red too. I think it's supposed to be green.
Yeah, there's a battery that goes in.
Okay. All right, Nick, I'll talk loud. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Let's see. Everybody ready? How many hours are we allowed for federal depositions? I hear y'all. 7. Got it. Is it not working? Oh, there it goes. It's touching now.
Yours doesn't have a very loud sound.
I know. Just way over there. That's why I'm pouting.
I'm getting tired of standing.
Yes.
I was trying to make y'all stand for a while so you'd be all fresh for Jeff when he comes to talk to you. Thank you. I thought I hit something.
Red is dead.
Thank you. Okay, anybody got a guess yet? Anybody want to guess? You want to guess? What do y'all think? Anybody? Anybody want to guess?
Paralegal in the jury room with stiletto heel.
Good guess, but no. Good guess, though. Good guess? Okay, go ahead.
Eraser with the steno machine. I mean, in the school with the steno machine. The judge did it.
No, sorry. Good try, though. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, let's see here. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, y'all better listen to this whole question. Ready? Your whole question. No, that's okay. Let's just say this one could have a tricky turn at the end. All right. If someone asks you how much time is left on the record, do you tell them how much time is left on the record? Like you have 5 minutes and 37 seconds?
Did you hear it?
I heard you.
Yes.
But how do you tell them?
By the time.
How do you tell them?
Yeah, like, do you tell them?
I tell them.
How should I word that? You tell them.
I don't give them seconds.
You give them minutes.
I give them minutes and
Hours
seconds.
and minutes.
That what? How much time is left or how much time they've used?
How much time they've used.
They've used. You got it. Okay. You never tell them how much time is left. You tell them how much time they have used. That's okay. You want to guess? Okay, they want to guess.
Okay, it's at the school with the school administrator with the steno machine.
Good try, but no. Why do I keep doing that? Let's just take this sucker off.
So the defendant Polly, we want to guess.
Want to guess? Okay, go ahead.
The defendant Polly in the school with the spiked heel.
Ooh, good guess, but no. Real good guess. All good guesses. Not it. Oh. Oopsie. I'm gonna knock myself alive here. There, can you hear me? Yes.
We want the admin in the law library with the spiked heels.
Good guess, but no. Good guess, though. If you don't hear me, I knock this off. Is it okay? You hear me? Okay.
I'm understanding now.
Good, yeah, that you're getting
It's
it.
taking me forever.
She's getting it. Am I too complicated?
No,
my mind works a little
I never
weird.
played this before.
Okay, next one, let's see. Okay, oh, here's a good one. Okay, listen to the whole question on this. Ready? Okay. So, you're working for your favorite attorney. All right, working for your favorite attorney. He says, just take out all that repetitive stuff. Do you do it or do not do it? I'll hear you guys first. Correct. No, we're verbatim, right? No. We don't clean up the record. It is what it is. Y'all clean up the record? I never clean up the record. Who's next? Okay. You want to guess? Okay.
Okay.
Another guessers?
At the school with the steno machine by the defendant.
No. Very good guess, though. Very good guess. Very good. Okay. Let's see what we got next. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one. Let's see if everybody knows the answer to this one. To be a court reporter, do you have to have a high school or diploma or GED? Heard y'all first.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. New law went into effect. In case y'all didn't know that, a new law went into effect. In order to go to court reporting school and be a court reporter, you must have a GED or a high school diploma.
We want to guess one more time.
Okay, hold on one sec. All right, go ahead.
Okay, at the school, with the steno machine by the paralegal. No. By the paralegal?
Good guess, but no. Really good guess. Thank you. Really good guess.
She's lying.
I'm lying. I'm just lying, y'all. Okay, let's see. Want to guess? Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Student with the steno machine at the school.
Nope.
Don't want to guess.
Want to guess? Okay, go ahead.
Plaintiff with a gavel in the jury room.
Good guess, but no. Nope.
All of them are good guesses.
They're all good guesses, but not right. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what else we got. Oh, here's a good one. Let's see if y'all know the answer to this one. Can the board, our new board, and what's it called again, people?
JCC.
There you go. Can that new board, can it refuse to renew your license if you default on a student loan?
Yes.
I heard you.
Yes.
Yes. I'm listening to the buzzers. That's all. Okay, here you go. I'm trying real hard not to make this thing buzz.
All right.
What else? Hear what?
Can't hear our buzzer.
It's low noise. Yell. He's got a loud mouth. He can yell.
Okay.
I didn't mean that mean.
Other people can yell too. Only I'm allowed to yell.
Let's see. Okay, here's one. I don't think I said this one earlier, did I? I don't think I did. Okay, ready? Everybody ready? When someone says strike that, do we actually strike it? I hear them. No.
You already said that.
I did? I did that one? Oh, girl. That's okay. I messed up.
Strike that draw.
Strike that draw. Strike that. I missed it.
Okay. Y'all remind me.
Oh, here's a good one. I got an easy one. Let's just mix these up a little bit. Okay. Ready for the next one? So, in Texas, we'll make this one Texas. How many hours of continuing education are we required, including ethics? I heard that one.
Okay. 10.
Yes, and how many hours of that is ethics?
2.5.
Yes. Got it. No. Stop it! What did I do? I didn't even touch it.
You move around.
I moved around. I had it on me, but it kept going off, so I took it off. What should I do? Put it back here? Try it back there, where I can't touch it. Great, you can grab me those. Oh, you did? Okay, thanks.
It's out of your hands now.
It's out of my hands where I won't touch it. Okay, let's try that.
Somebody's got to turn it on. Yes, over here.
It's on.
I'd like to guess.
Can you hear me? There you go.
I'd like to guess.
You want to guess? Okay, go ahead.
The school administrator in the school with the keyboard.
Good one, but no. You guys want to guess?
The judge with the keyboard in the courtroom.
No? Anybody else want to guess? Anybody else got a guess?
I got the defendant with the gavel in the courtroom.
Good guess, no?
Of course it's a good guess.
All right, let's see what the next question is. Let's see what I have not asked you. Okay, here we go. Ready? Let's see if y'all agree with me on this one. All right. So you took a hearing or a depo on Monday. Took it on Monday, okay? It's actually not due out. Nobody worked at Rush, right? It's not due out to the following week. Most firms are what? 6 days, 8 days, whatever, okay? So they decide they want to, they call you on, let's say they call you on Tuesday, and they want it on Friday. How many day rush do you charge? I was waiting to see if y'all, but I heard you guys. So how many day rush would that be?
3 days.
Is that what y'all would do? That's what I would do. You would do 4 day? Why would you do 4 day?
Oh, Tuesday to Friday.
Yeah, they called Tuesday and they wanted Friday. 3 day? I would charge a 3 day rush. Yeah, because you took it Monday, they called Tuesday wanted rush. So that's what I would charge. Is that what y'all do? Anyone you want. Anyone you want. Anybody got a guess?
Student in the law library with the gavel.
Let me see. Say it again.
Student in the law library with the gavel.
No. Y'all getting the hang of this? Okay, next question. Oh, can y'all hear me? There we go. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, we'll see. I'm trying to find the best question for this.
Find some official question.
I know. I don't have an official. I am not official. I'm trying. Okay, here's a good one. This one might work for both. All right, here's a good one. Y'all need to send me some official questions. That would be awesome for you officials out there. That'd be really great. Y'all send me those. All right, so here's my question. So you have a horrible interpreter. Maybe you speak Spanish, and you have a horrible interpreter, and they are interpreting, and you're not. You're getting something different when they say. Do you tell the opposing counsel? Do you tell attorneys? I heard you first.
No.
No, right. Would y'all?
No.
Not our job, right? We weren't hired to be the interpreter. We're the court reporter.
You don't know.
Yeah, not our
Because you're
job.
bilingual doesn't mean you're... Yeah.
Not our job. That was the interpreter's job. Anybody else got a guess yet?
Student in the law library with a taser.
Nope. Good try. Good try, though.
We drew this one already.
I know. They go back in the deck. That's the evil part. Nope. Good guess, though. See, I told Anita not to do anything obvious. Not to do anything obvious. Okay. Y'all got a guess, did you say?
No, I said everything's a good guess.
Oh. Okay, whoops, where my questions go. Okay. All right, let's see what else, other questions we have. Okay. Okay, here's a good one. Y'all ready? Can y'all hear me? There. Okay. Is the video or the court reporter's record the official record?
Court reporter.
Yes. Who's going?
Okay. I was suggesting...
John, get up here. Come on, people. This is boot camp. Come on.
I got a guess.
Got a guess? Okay.
The judge with the gavel at the bail bond place.
Good try, but now.
You have to answer that now.
We'll mix these cards up in.
You have
Just
that
for the evil factor.
Okay. Preference.
Anybody else got a guess?
Student in the law library with a chair.
Good try, no?
Okay, how about the administrator in the evidence locker room with the keyboard?
No.
That's all in a draw.
Good try. Good try. Okay, next question.
I hope we get to finish.
If you don't guess, well, I'll tell you at the end.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's see. Okay. So, let's say you have a really everybody ready for the question? You got a really horrible witness, and you can't understand them because they're mumbling. Do we stop them and ask them to repeat? Yes. Because what? Our job is to take the record down, right? Whatever means necessary. Okay. Anybody got a guess? Somebody gonna try? Think you know? Think you can read my mind? Any psychics in here? Just check it.
Yes.
You psychic? Can you read my mind?
Just think about it.
Just think about it.
Think about it.
My mind is blank.
I thought someone would win by now.
Okay, cool.
A little bit like Monopoly.
I'm making this all complicated. Anybody got a guess?
Defendant with the gavel in the courtroom.
Let me look. Defendant with the gavel in the courtroom. Defendant, gavel,
Oh,
no?
they're guessing.
Good try though. Did y'all have a guess? Did I hear you guys say a guess? Did y'all have a guess? Who's got a guess?
Is it the juror in the jury room with the shoes?
No?
Is it the court reporter with keyboard in the courtroom?
Nope. Good try though. Very good try. Okay, ready for the next question? Y'all cursing me yet? I see those looks. Okay, ready? Okay, let's see what's the next one. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one. Y'all ready for this one? Now let's go twist and turn, so listen to the whole question. All right, let's say you're at a job. Could be court, could be whatever, wherever. You're at a hearing, whatever. You get sick. You're throwing up. Do you keep writing and hope it stops? Or do you say, can we go stop for a minute and let me call a sub?
No, we got it.
That wasn't a twist or a turn.
Right.
Kinda.
I said you could stop it.
Yep, you can stop it. You can stop it.
Because it can
Put my ring in now.
Anybody want to guess? Want to guess? Okay.
Gavel. Good school.
Judge gavel school. No. No. Anybody else want to try?
Yes, court reporter and her machine in the judge's chambers.
Good try. No.
Was it Lieutenant Governor?
Yeah.
With amendment to House Bill.
Good try. Good try. Okay. Let's see. All right, here's
There's
one.
my bell right before the question. Get it in early.
All right, here's one. Okay, you're on the record, and all of a sudden, the witness just walks out of the room. Do you stay on or do you go off?
Stay on. Stay on.
Stay on.
Wait anymore.
What?
I said Deborah's not waiting anymore.
She's like, I'm gonna buzz that thing.
One of our team members.
Have you seriously? See, that's the whole evil part, because they go back in here, you know.
One of
So you
our
can
team
get
members has a really good guess.
You have a good guess? Go ahead.
I just said describe it with candlestick.
Yeah, good try. Good try.
Are you getting those? Well, I know that the butler. I thought that eliminates them. Okay, we'll get
It eliminates them from your pile.
Oh, I see.
Get it? You have a guess? Okay, go ahead.
The
judge
in the jury room with the steno machine.
So close, yet so far. So close. So close.
All right, we have one.
All right.
Judge at the school with the shoe.
Good try now.
Yep, good try now.
No, not that's not it. Let's see. Okay, here's one. Y'all ready? Okay.
Here we go, guys.
How long are we required to keep our notes? Oh, I heard you.
3 years for civil and
Exchange it.
We got it. We were second bell. And you had to jam. Go ahead.
You just specify, yeah.
Is it the
You
judge?
specify, yes, it's criminal.
It's 3 and 7 still, right?
15 for criminal.
This would be 15 for criminal, yeah.
Let's clear out that question. I need to check that again.
Is it the judge with the shoe and chambers?
We want to get out
We
there.
should be able to draw.
Technically, you don't have to keep
For a tip.
What now? Why? It's electronic. You still got to keep your notes, though, people.
A lot of people don't have notes.
True. Well, it is on the disc.
That's
Your
right.
notes.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I don't even have a disc.
Say that again.
That's a place.
What does it say at the top? The school? That's a place. That's a place.
Just a person at school.
Okay, let's see. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, in federal court, how long do you have to keep your notes? Who knows? Federal court. I thought it was 15, but I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know why I think that, but for some reason that's sticking in my head. I'm not positive on that one. We'll have to research that one. Okay, y'all ready for this one? If somebody calls wanting your audio tape, what do you do? I heard you.
You tell them they can't have it. They have to subpoena it.
Yes. Way to go.
Okay.
We like to try.
Go ahead, try.
Court reporter in the jury room with the steno machine.
Very good guess, but no.
Very good. Okay, how about?
You got a guess?
Okay, it's a judge in the courtroom with the steno machine.
So close, but no.
We got it.
You got it? Go ahead.
The defendant in the jury room with the steno machine.
Yeah! Good job! Woo-hoo! Jeff, you got the prizes back there? I think. I got it. Good job. Okay, y'all do me a favor, please. Everybody listen up. Please take your cards and put them back in your envelope. All your cards back in your team envelopes. And bring your buzzers up here. So I keep everything organized, please. Did y'all learn something? Did you actually meet people you didn't know?
So, give it a little wrap up.
Okay. I have prizes. I have prizes for that winning team. You want to come up and get your prizes? Good try. Good try. Prizes. Stick your hand in and just take something.
Everybody else was doing the same thing.
Oh, you mean, no, go ahead.
Stuff, all kinds of stuff.
I'm videotaping you.
Uh-oh.
I don't need candy, sorry.
Okay, that's something else. Yay, y'all did good.
And they really did it by a process of elimination.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they
That's
did a great
awesome.
job.
All kinds of stuff. Good job, y'all. That was good. That was hard, wasn't it? That was hard, but it was fun, right? You got to meet people you didn't know, right? Got to have fun, got to stand up. So you're all hyped up for Jeff. Any questions about anything? So,
we get a break?
I gotta look that up. We gotta look that one up. I don't know. I thought it was 15. I really did. I'm not sure though. We can double check that one. So thank you guys very much for having me out here. It was fun. Appreciate it.
Well, there you go. You're done. How easy was that? I hope you had a great time taking this program. Now you have a few more CEUs to add to your CEU bucket there. Now remember, if you're taking one of our longer courses, please wait until you finish all the seminars before you send us your answers. And please try to, if you're going to put them in an email, copy them in one straight vertical line, separated by the different course titles. And that makes it easy for me to grade, makes it go a lot faster, and I don't make any mistakes. Well, not so much. Okay. And also, you can scan them in order and send them to me as well. Remember, we're always putting new content up here. Every year we will have at least 4 to 10 more hours worth of CEUs that you can get here from the comfort of your home. So if you know more court reporters that would like to get their credits that way, please let them know about it. And remember, your home for CEUs online, Jeff Justice Seminars, where you can get your CEUs online anytime.